Dear distinguished guests, welcome to the 16th World Federation of Neurosurgical Societies World Congress of Neurosurgery held in Istanbul Congress Center. Welcome. It is a great honor to host the most influential neurosurgeons and neuroscientists from all over the world. We hope you will be experience unforgettable memories in Istanbul and will be delighted with our hospitality. Welcome again. Shall we start with the opening remarks? I would like to invite the President of Turkish Neurosurgical Society, Dr. Şükrü Çağlar.
Dear President, Mr. Tu, dear Honorary Presidents, dear President-elect, dear President of World Congress, Honorary Presidents, dear colleagues, dear friends, on behalf of Turkish Neurosurgical Society, we are proud and delighted to host such an important event in Istanbul. The main goal of World Federation Neurosurgeons 2017 Congress in Istanbul is to pave the way for a scientific environment where recent developments in neurosurgery are reviewed, the results of research are discussed, and ideas are exchanged. You know and you see the amazing beauty of Istanbul in two continents will enable the participants to experience unforgettable moments. You should go experience a unique taste of history, different cultures, different tastes, and every type of entertainment. We neurosurgeons are actually a privileged community. No one can understand a neurosurgeon better than a neurosurgeon. So, we may experience many difficulties in all over the world, but the only people who can help and understand you are our colleagues. We may experience difficulties in every type of the world, in every type of life, but only we can survive with the support of our colleagues. You know, now the neurosurgeons all over the world are the members of a family. This family is growing day by day. We are not just friends, we are the members of the same family. So if the family is growing, I think the most important thing is to have the family ties stronger than ever. So that's why I am really pleased and thank you for coming to Istanbul. Let's do it together. Now we are all in Istanbul. Let's enjoy not only the scientifically the atmosphere of this Congress, but every type and every taste of life together. Let's together make this Congress a unique, a special one. We can do it together. Thank you again for coming to Istanbul.
What a great event. Dear colleagues, dear friends, mentors, welcome to Istanbul for the 16th World Neurosurgery Congress. We, the organizing committee, and as a member of the Turkish Neurosurgical Society, are honored by the opportunity to host you, our dear friends and colleagues, on this week-long exchange of knowledge and friendship. First of all, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to our mentors, fathers of founders of Turkish Neurosurgical Society. By establishing the Turkish Neurosurgical Society, they opened doors to this craft, allowing us to become neurosurgeons, and we are today. Why I start with this slide? One man with courage makes a majority. A quote by President Jackson I deeply relate to. Allow me to explain. I have to confess that I had planned and greeting more than 4,000 participants here today. I believe I do not need to explain why I had such a high number in my heart, as this event is the biggest gathering of world neurosurgery. And now, more than 2,000 participants from 103 countries are present here. Half of what I had in my mind. However, I am neither disappointed nor sad. I am aware that the best neurosurgeons from all over the world are present here. Your attendance carries tremendous impact. Your courage and dedication to science, despite the drastic terroristic threats, political issues, and serious challenges all over the world, is admirable. I would like to point out once more how important it is for all of you to be here today. I strongly believe that as a scientist, it is our duty to disregard our needs for our colleagues, our patients, their families, and every human being in agony. It is not the first time in the history scientists and artists face backlash. Many creations and inventions have taken place during wars, revolutions, and natural disasters. I believe the reason behind this incredible sacrifice and motivation is that scientists and artists have always gone beyond. Due to this mission honored all their lives, they have a different kind of responsibility towards humanity, especially at times like this, where survival of humanity and resources of the world are under threat. We bear a key role. Therefore, instead of giving into fear, we need to lead the way for the future, like you have shown by joining us here today. Keeping in mind that we face greater risks every day in the operating theater. Please take a chance to look over the Bosphorus to the Asian shore, where you can see the homeland of the Herophilus of Chalcedon, who lived over 2,000 years ago. He, the father of anatomy, gave us not only terminology, but also the descriptions of many neural structures we use today. But he was put through hardship, he was humiliated, and finally forced to leave for his dedication and persistence in studying human anatomy. He reached his goal in Alexandria at the expense of his dignity. It took 1,500 years for following scientists to show the ambition to continue where he left off. He had a very difficult life. We are thankful for his legacy. Galen of Pergamum, who is amongst the most influential physicians of history, together with Hippocrates and Avicenna, worked with gladiators at the arena of Pergamum. Upon his success at home, he became the physician of the Roman emperor. However, this story did not have a happy ending as well. He was not able to work on human cadavers and was forced to return home to continue his work at the arena. To give more recent example, let's go back exactly 100 years to 1917, the First World War, famous American chemist Colin Fink made a difference. He convinced the American Electrochemical Society to issue a statement against those canceling and postponing scientific meetings due to war, and encourage scientists on their mission. As I said, the world of art bears many examples. Their primary motto is self-explanatory. The show must go on. This sums it all up as it is a matter of honor to continue their passion no matter what. For example, Beethoven. Although suffering from serious hearing problems, he stayed in Vienna under Napoleon's heavy bombardments and kept on composing his greatest works. An incredible story of how the show did go on comes from the most famous tragic naval accidents of all times, the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. You know that the band kept on playing until the ship sank. It's well known. But what is less known, that those 8 musicians who lost their lives playing their music were not the employees of the ship. Therefore, they could have left the Titanic just as the other passengers did. However, they choose to ignore their right to escape, using the power of music to prevent panic and create calm. To give an example from our craft, the fathers of neurosurgery created the art of neurosurgery during and at the heart of the World War wars. We are honored to have Professor Yaşargil among us today as a living example. He was studying the medical school in Jena, Germany, during the bombing of the Second World War. Yet, he never stopped working for his goal in medicine. As you see, probably no significant scientists had it easy, and no red carpets were rolled out to honor them as they deserved. We have a special participant from war zone, Syria, Dr. Najar. He showed us the extreme conditions and the reality they face. He came here to be with us and give us his lecture, knowing he will be back to Red Zone soon. This deserves our deepest respect and admiration. Unfortunately, we have some colleagues in excellent situations refusing to participate in our gathering to share their experiences. We shall never forget our mission to distribute and exchange knowledge regardless of surrounding conditions. History repeats itself when it comes to world-influencing scientists making a difference and serving humanity. What they all share is dedication. I believe certain monuments around the world represent symbols of this amazing courage and resilience I have been telling you about. I would like to draw your attention to a very special construction symbolizing this kind of persistence, the Hagia Sophia, the building representing our Congress. It was built on the ruins of a pagan temple in the 6th century, with some columns carried from the Temple of Artemis. Almost for 1,000 years, it was the biggest church in the world, and later it was transformed to a mosque in 1453, more than 500 years ago. During the Islamic period of Hagia Sophia, it was protected and supported with new columns. It survived major earthquakes of Istanbul thanks to great Turkish architect Sinan. Also, the magnificent mosaics of the former seat of Christianity were protected, not destroyed during this period. Now, the Hagia Sophia is a museum for and of humanity. This great building is also the most important symbol of peaceful coexistence among religions. This image represents what our futures should be formed into, a harmonic existence of the two world religious symbols, an example of mutual respect and understanding. What symbol better to reflect the ideology of our Congress? Also, I would like to say a few words regarding our logo. This traditional blue eye motif is believed to protect from misfortune and bad luck. I think this is a charm we all need, not only in the operating theater, but also in our daily lives. Please allow me to symbolically pin the evil eye on each and every one of you. I know very well that what struggles you faced when traveling here, such as official recommendations not to travel to Turkey, visa issues, and several other problems caused by some countries. You have overcome all, and we are especially thankful for your efforts and attendance during these controversial times. The current world situation does not guarantee safer years ahead of us. Our gathering today shall be remembered as a strong column in the history of our society. You all being here represent our past, our present, our future. Today, you laid a milestone for next generations and inspire them to go beyond. You became idols by overstepping those boundaries and came to see for yourself what can be done with science. I'm sending you off, believing that this Congress will not only build a bridge between East and West, but also create a passage between our past and future. Teşekkürler.
I would like to congratulate you all for traveling to our World Congress from so many different parts of the world. The World Federation of Neurosurgical Societies is truly a global organization. And because we are members of this wonderful organization, we have the opportunity to make friendship with many people in this Congress that we otherwise might not meet. At the same time, the scientific committee has organized an outstanding program with presentations from some of the most interesting and advanced researchers and practitioners in neurosurgery. As you know, the world around us is undergoing rapid change, and it is essential that we all keep up with the latest development in our field. I know that this will be a truly memorable occasion for us all, and that what we learn here will be of great use in our future practices when we return home. The World Congress is also a time where we take stock of what we have accomplished and discuss what we need to focus on in the time ahead. We have a number of important decisions to make, and we need to appoint the new officers who will carry out the vital activities which the WFNS will be involved in once we leave Istanbul. I have great confidence that we will make good decisions and that our organization will continue to expand its mission of helping to improve the practice of neurosurgery around the world. Creating a World Congress like this takes an enormous amount of dedication and time and effort. I would like to thank Professor Ugo Ture and his organizing committee as well as Professor Tarek Kiris, the past president of the Turkish Neurosurgery Society, and Professor Sugru Kagra, the current president of Turkish Neurosurgical Society, for all that they have done to make this World Congress a success. The support from the Turkish Neurosurgical Society has been wonderful and has made it possible for this event to such a success. I would like to give a special thanks to Professor Isan Solologlu as well, who have organized the outstanding scientific program which has been made available to participants in this World Congress. In addition to attending the scientific program and participating in the important business meetings where we need to make decisions affecting the future of our organization, I hope that you will be able to explore some of this extraordinary city. Istanbul has been a center of civilization for more than 2,000 years. It has some of the most magnificent buildings in the world. It reminds us that the world we live in now was created by those who went before us, just as the world of the future will be influenced by the work that we do. As president of the World Federation of Neurosurgical Societies, I welcome you all. The World Congress is the most significant event on our calendar, and I'm so glad that you have been able to manage to be here. I know that you will all remember this Congress for many years to come. My best wishes to you all. Thank you.
Also, it's a very great moment for me. I think it's one of the best moments in my life. So I would like to forgive me for my excitement. I would like to a little bit talk about my mentor, my role model, Professor Gazi Yaşargil. Professor Gazi Yaşargil was born on July 6, 1925 in Lice, Turkey. He completed high school in Ankara, Turkey, studied 2 semesters of medicine at the Friedrich Schiller University, Jena, Germany, between 1944 and 1945, and completed his medical doctor degree at the University of Basel, Switzerland, in September 1949. Following his rotation program in neuroanatomy, neurology, psychiatry, internal medicine, and general surgery between the years of 1950 and 52, he began his neurosurgical residency at the University Hospital in Zurich under Professor Kreambül, Professor Weber, Professor Zander. In 1960, he became private docent. In 1965, assistant professor of neurosurgery, and in 1973, ordinarius professor and chairman at the Department of Neurosurgery, University Hospital Zurich, until his retirement in January 1993. During the first 12 years of his neurosurgery practice as resident, chief resident, and docent, Professor Yaşargil was involved in developing percutaneous carotid, vertebral, and orbital angiography. The detailed results have been published in 5 books between the years 1957 and 1965. In 1957, he learned stereotactic surgery with Professor Reichardt and Professor Budinger in the Department of Neurosurgery, Freiburg, Germany, and introduced the application of high-frequency coagulation techniques on patients with Parkinsonism and movement disorders. In the Department of Neurosurgery, University Hospital, Zurich. In 1965, he introduced the technique of spinal fusion using a telescopic screw device. From October 1965 to December 1966, Professor Yaşargil spent 14 months in the animal laboratory at the Department of Neurosurgery, University of Vermont Medical Center in Burlington, United States. Chairman was Professor Donaghy. He learned and improved microvascular suture techniques on peripheral arteries and pioneered the application of microtechniques to the cerebral arteries of dogs, subsequently establishing reconstructive microvascular procedures and bypass surgeries on his patients. On his return to Zurich in December 1966, he began to apply macro techniques to the entire field of neurosurgery, recognizing the phylogenetic and ontogenetic predilection size of lesions of the central nervous system and the distinct arrangement of craniospinal cisterns. He developed transcisternal approaches to cranial and spinal lesions, thus accomplished poor lesionectomies with the principle of complete elimination of lesion at the first surgical exploration. The outcomes and results on several thousand patients have been summarized and presented in 8 monographs, namely Microvascular Surgery in 1967, Microsurgery Applied to Neurosurgery in 1968, and Microneurosurgery in 6 volumes between the years 1984 and 1996. Between November 1994 and July 2013, Professor Yaşargil was active professor of neurosurgery at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, Little Rock. His chairman was Professor El-Mefdi, where he renowned Center for Microsurgery was created and regular microsurgery courses for young colleagues were offered. In November 2013, Professor Yaşargil was appointed Professor of Neurosurgery at the Yeditepe University School of Medicine, Istanbul, Turkey, and chairman was Uğur Türe, where he continues to be actively involved in microneurosurgical practice, teaching, lecturing, and preparing publications. Now, it's my great honor to invite Professor Yaşargil to the stage, man of the century in neurosurgery, our role model, the great man